What's up, everybody? Scott and Nate back here with Are We Friends? Um, Obviously, we had to take a little bit of break. Been a busy season for both of us, but back in the swing of it now. With obviously, we got Halloween approaching. As you can see, my virtual background, getting it in the spirit of it. But thought we'd hop back on here, do our little podcast for this week, and hopefully we'll get something good for next week or next few weeks going for you. But anything you want to start off with, Nate?
Not really, no.
Cool, man.
No, I appreciate your festiveness. I just not quite as good as you, Scott. I got nothing here other than the dark, dull dungeon
Hey,
of the homestead. So,
you're in a dungeon. You're in your dungeon in your basement. Those can be scary. At least they were for me. I was scared of the
yeah,
dark.
that's right.
Cool. Well, I guess to go ahead and
Was that's,
what's that?
I said you were afraid of the dark?
I still am.
Not,
I'm
I
not afraid
still
of
am.
it.
There we go.
Um, which is ironic because we lost power here in town this week and it was pretty much pitch black. So, um, cool.
Nice.
Well, I guess to stick with the spirit of Halloween, we'll kind of start off with some Halloween stuff, but thought we'd talk about like our favorite Halloween memories or something along those lines. For me, it was my dad, and he'd always kind of scare the kids a little bit. It wasn't just Halloween, but it was kind of throughout the year to kind of keep kids out of the basement. Sometimes you probably remember this, but we had quote Aunt Myrtle that lived in the basement, and I don't know
Yep.
100% where her origins came from, but he definitely made some kids cry a couple of times, as I'm sure you remember.
Why not?
Said they would go down in the basement and he'd be like, "Careful, Aunt Myrtle's gonna come out," and she'd come out and she would come out and get you, but she really wouldn't. And then they'd go home crying, and that was kind of funny. And then there was a mask we used to have that was like it was a white scary face with like green hair, and I'd always put that
Yeah.
on to scare people. You probably remember that too.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm,
You used to scare the living bejesus out of that little kid that lived across the street,
yep,
and he'd see it and he'd stop dead in his tracks and turn and run away. And you used to get such a kick out of that.
yep. I can't remember who that was, but
Torture this, torture this poor little kid.
yeah,
That was back in the good old days when you could do stuff like that, though.
right,
I
right, exactly.
remember. I vaguely have a memory of being in a Walmart. I don't know if this was when I was a kid and we lived in Salina. And I don't know if we were in Salina or up where my mom and dad are from. And I vaguely have a memory of my dad like turning the corner in the aisle and coming at me a little bit, just like taking some steps. And he was wearing a mask like that. And I'd have been like 3 or 4 or something, and it just scaring the bejesus out of me. And every so often, he and my mom will tell that story, or they'll talk about it, and I don't think they understood how like traumatic for me that was at the time. I legitimately was petrified of that.
Yeah,
So
I think the other thing I remember too is my dad would always love going to haunted houses, and I love haunted houses, even though I hate being scared and hate the dark. But it's funny, he would love to go, but then he'd be the one that would get scared the most and the easiest, as you probably remember. It was hilarious.
yeah,
He'd be the one hanging on to everybody's shirt, and he's like, "Oh gosh," when somebody just barely jumps out at him, and or he's like, "No, you go first. You go first." I'm like, "No, you go." I think those are kind of probably the biggest memories I have. Costume wise, I don't really remember a whole lot of costumes that I wore, but obviously you kind of remember a little bit of your Halloween parties in school and stuff like that. But
yeah,
the craziest Halloween memory I have was New Orleans. It was absolutely insane down there for Halloween. It was
yeah.
some, yeah, it was just nuts.
Shout
Not
out
very
to New Orleans.
appropriate.
It's not just a Fat Tuesday town.
Oh no, Halloween is, yeah, one of the other craziest days there, and yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
inappropriate stuff. So, but
Did
Um,
you ever were you ever back in town when we had one of the parties that we threw over at Mark's house?
I don't think so. Not for Halloween. No.
Okay.
Yep.
We had I mean they weren't like drop down, throw, awesome parties, but they were pretty fun. And for the very first one we did was right around the time that show Dexter was out,
Mm-hmm. Oh
and we
yeah.
covered his whole front porch in plastic, like at the end of each episode when Dexter had his person on the table, and we had a table set up with a dummy and a knife in it, and we
Yep.
decorated the house pretty good.
That was a
Those
good
were pretty
show.
good
Ken and
times.
I used to watch that a lot. So
Yeah.
cool. I
Yeah.
know you said it's gonna be what cold there for the first time in a while in Kansas City for
Yeah,
Halloween.
I mean, I've got a couple girls, 9 and 6, and taking them out for trick or treating over the last several years. It's never very cold around here, and I mean, you could almost go in shorts and t-shirt most of the time that we've been trick or treating with them. And this year, the weather's going to turn over the weekend. I think Tuesday the high is 42, 43, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be the first time it's gonna be cold for Halloween, and it just made me think of it was always cold when we were kids.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
always seemed like it was cold and wet, and
Yep.
I mean, just such a contrast from what it has been to where you just sweating by the time you get done trick or treating, and you know, it just
Yep.
wasn't like that before. So I don't know, kind of fun to see girls, with their costumes on and coats over top of it. So
Yeah.
that'd be kind of funny.
How creative everybody gets to stay warm. But yeah, I mean it's supposed to drop back down here. It's in the 80s and stuff for from now till about Tuesday, and then it's supposed to be in like
Mm,
30s that night, I think, 50s all day. So yeah, be interesting too.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
I think along the same lines with Halloween, we decided we'd do like a kind of create your own like goodie Halloween basket. I'll go ahead and share my screen here and we'll kind of put this together, but let's see what we got. So cool. So we thought
All
we'd
right,
go ahead and create our own Halloween basket based on what we like. And since I got control of the screen first, I'll drag mine in, but I've got to go with Superior Reese's. I would do a whole pallet of Reese's if I could, but of all those
Ugh.
choices, what would you choose, Nate?
For me, number one,
Mhm.
all time, Almond Joy,
All right, where we
top
got?
row, third
Yep,
from
right
the
there.
left.
All right, we'll put
Yep, I put that in Superior
nine.
every day of the week.
Cool. So one thing that I think I'm gonna do not put in my candy bowl. I am not a huge candy corn fan.
Yeah,
I
I
can't.
agree.
I mean, I'll eat it, but I don't really like it. I don't go out of my way. What about you for do not put in the bowl?
Um, on the list, my first thought would be to take Three Musketeers and put them in the do not put in the candy bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I could eat them,
Never
but
been a fan. Just,
yeah, I'm not a huge
ugh,
fan. Yeah.
that's always the one that's left over at the end because nobody wants it.
Yep. Yep. I think I'm gonna go with another superior one that I've always liked is Butterfinger.
Ugh, Scott. Ugh.
We're, we're not agreeing
I
on
mean,
this.
I'm not hating on Butterfinger, but boy, oh boy, you're like, we are. I don't think we are friends when it comes to candy because I'm not hating on Reese's peanut butter cups either, but I don't love them like a lot of other people seem to. I'd put those, I'd put both of those in
The good.
probably that middle one. I mean, I would eat it,
Yep.
but um, I think for me, the next one, in I would say probably the peanut M&Ms, but I would put those as good
Right here.
because they're like, yeah, they're always there, they're always good.
Mhm.
They're not necessarily what you want to go for first, but they're pretty tasty.
Yeah, I think I've seen some peanut butter M&Ms recently that I've really liked, but that's just me because I like peanut butter.
Mm,
All right. I think I'll go with
yeah,
another good is I'll go with the Kit Kats. So, what about you? What's your next one?
yeah. Um, I, I would maybe put Twix on there. I'm trying to decide if I'd put Twix as superior or good. It does have a caramel nougat,
Right.
so that's important.
I to me that's kind
I'm
of
gonna go ahead and
go
since you've
ahead.
got two superiors,
Mhm.
I'm gonna throw it in superior also.
I think I'll go with you on that one too because I like Twix also. So I was kind of debating between Butterfinger and Twix. So
Okay.
cool. All right. My next one. I think I'll probably go with Snickers. I'm probably put it up there in the good. It's usually a go-to for most people as long as they like the nuts and can have the nuts in it. But Snickers is always a
Yeah,
decent one of my wife's favorites. So, all right, what's your
yeah.
next one?
I would take that 100 grand all the way on the left, and I think I'd put that in good.
Hmm. I think I'll
I
agree with
don't.
you there. 'Cause I just have one of those. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't remember having those up until the last year or something like that, and they're pretty tasty. Maybe it's just new
Yeah,
though.
it's funny. That's exactly what I was gonna get ready. What I was getting ready to say is I had my first one about a year and a half ago, so I don't remember those as a kid either. So that's
Yeah,
funny. All right, let's see. Oh man. Um, gosh, what's next? What is that Reese's one down there? I can't really
it's like a
see.
white chocolate.
Now I'll put that. I like white chocolate, but I'm not a huge fan of the Reese's one. I'll put it in. I mean, I would eat it, but I don't really put it above any of these others.
Yeah, I put that Kit Kat white chocolate one right there next to it.
Cool. I'll probably second that too. Um, all right, what do we let's see. We got Milky Way.
I'm noticing a trend.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Payday.
Milky Way can go down with that Three Musketeers.
Yeah, I'll probably
Paydays aren't bad.
yeah. What's that? What'd you say?
I said paydays aren't too bad.
No, we'll put that up there. Where is the Payday?
Payday
Yeah.
is,
Oh, there it is. Yep. We'll put it in which category? I'm kind of right up here in the good.
I mean, I would eat it.
Yep.
I put it in the
All
middle.
right, we'll put it there. Okay. Um, I like Hershey's as long as they don't have the almonds in it. So I'm gonna put that up in the good. All right.
Ugh,
You don't agree with that one?
I put that in the don't care for it. Yeah, the Nestle Crunch. I put that in good.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with you there. All right. What's some of these?
Do you realize that
Hmm.
we've attached all the ones that are chocolate
I know.
somewhere up there, and all the ones that are just like pure
Sugar.
sugar are all that's left. So I think you and I are friends because I think our preferred candy is something that has chocolate.
Yep. I don't mind Skittles, so
Uh,
um
uh,
let's see. We'll go with the Skittles. I'll put it here, but I don't go out of my way to eat them.
yeah, I'm the same way. You put probably that second bag of the
Yep.
other flavors up there too.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, I
Hmm.
think
Yep.
nerds were the ones that were like most most available for some
Hmm.
reason, and I
Yep.
haven't had nerds in a really long time. But when I think back on it, it's just, ugh,
Yeah, I know.
I think I'm gonna
That's
go nerds on don't care for.
Yep. Where are they at? Right here in the bottom.
It's in the middle. It's the purple
Oh,
boxes
yep.
in the middle.
Yep. I see it. Yeah,
There
I'm
we go.
kind of the same way. I mean, if someone gave them to me, I'd eat them, but I'm not gonna go out of my way. Um,
Yeah.
I'm kind of just getting this way with Smarties. I don't really. They're
Yeah,
kind of the same category for me there.
yeah. I'm gonna put Laffy Taffy in the don't care for.
Wait,
Just that it's on the
that one?
left.
Where at?
That's Twizzlers
Oh, yep, I see it. Yep.
right there.
Don't care for. Yep.
Yeah, just that like real sticky stuff. It just gets into your teeth and your gums, and your
Yep.
cousin, he'd probably be like, "Oh my god, that's destroying your teeth."
Yep.
Twizzlers are good. I like
Yeah.
Twizzlers a lot. I'd put those up in good.
Yeah, I think I do that too. That's the Twizzlers right there, right? Yep.
Yeah,
Um,
that might be like the number one non-chocolate
yeah.
candy for me.
Yep. Tootsie Roll is that's kind of in between. I think I'm gonna put I mean I would eat it, but I don't really go out of my way to have them.
Yeah, I put Starburst right next to that Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, kind of the same. Fun dip. That's kind of that reminds me of like going to the pool and
I was just gonna say that. Every
but
time I see one of those, which is not that often, it always makes me think of the pool.
yeah, they were good, but they were full of
I never
sugar.
really cared for it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put that down here and do not put my candy bowl because it's way too sugary for me.
Yeah, that's so funny that we have the same like association with it.
Yep.
I guess we are friends, Scott.
Good. Um,
Jolly Ranchers.
yeah,
I mean, I would eat Jolly Ranchers.
yeah. I think I would put those up in the good. What about you?
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Um, I would put it more in the. I mean, I would eat it, but
All right.
good is fine.
Yeah.
You
It's
have more of a positive reason to put it in good, so
kind of a I love the
I'm just kind of
watermelon.
going with
I love the
the
watermelon.
watermelon.
Yep. Yep.
Oh man, I can't do watermelon candy. My mom has an aversion to the smell of watermelon candy and gum. So
Huh.
as a kid, we were not allowed to have it.
Interesting.
Like there were times where I'd be chewing, I'd have a piece from somewhere and I'd start chewing on it and she would smell it and I'd have to throw it out.
Huh. Interesting.
So I can't do the watermelon.
Yep. All right. Let's just go down the list here. So we
All
got
right.
Airheads. Where would you put that? I don't really know
I don't
where.
even know what that is.
That's another lot of sugar. I think I'd just keep that out of my bowl because I don't really haven't
Okay.
really had it much. And
Works for me. I don't even know what it is.
yeah, are these lollipops?
I think they're just suckers. Yeah.
Suckers? Um,
Yeah. I mean, I'd eat it in the
yeah,
middle.
yeah, I think so too. I'm not like against them, but I'll eat them, but I don't like go out of my way. What is this?
Yeah. Is that a lifesaver?
Might be. I don't know. Lifesaver gummy or
Yeah.
something. I like
But
gummy
it's like the
stuff,
back
but
of the
yeah,
it's like the back of the package though.
right. That's weird.
Um, I guess I would go with in the middle
Yeah, I think so
because
too.
just a like a regular lifesaver is pretty good. You
Yeah,
know, it's kind of a mint.
right. I like gummy stuff. If we had gummy bears on here, they'd be up probably at the top. But what is this? This is I can't remember the name of that candy, and I can't really see it that well.
Oh, Mr. Goodbar. That's the
Yeah,
one that's got chocolate with like little pieces of peanut.
yeah. I don't know how I feel about that one. What about you?
Um, I would say I don't care for it.
Yeah, I think I'll second that. What's this? Can't really tell what that is. I don't remember what that is.
Yeah, I can't tell what that is with
I'll
it.
just say don't put in my bowl then.
Well, since we don't know what it is, let's put it in. Don't put it in. Yep.
The mini pops.
Yeah, the suckers.
Yeah,
I put
kind
that
of.
in the middle, like the other suckers.
Yep. And what is this? Are
How
these?
many licks does it take?
Yeah. What is that?
It's warheads.
Warheads. I
They're
remember.
warheads.
I'm kind
I
of.
don't remember what they are though.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly either, but I kind of don't really care for them. So we'll put them there if that's all
Yeah.
right with you. All
Okay.
right. I think
Works for me.
we were kind of pretty similar on most, except the Reese's and
Yeah.
our superior ones were different, but uh,
Yeah. How do you feel about almond joys? Because I know it's a really polarizing candy because some people just do not like coconut.
I don't mind coconut. Kendall likes coconut, but I'll eat it. I won't like go out of my way, but I'll go out of my way to eat Reese's.
I could buy a bag of just those bite-sized almond joys, and I could
Yep.
sit down and eat the whole bag in one setting without even realizing I've done it.
Nice.
Get to the end of the bag and you're like, oh crap, I'm a terrible person.
Right. Right.
They're so good.
Cool.
I
So
don't know.
that's
I'd say that's a pretty solid list.
yep. Yep. So well that's our create your own Halloween basket
Yeah.
to keep with the
Yep.
festive Halloween time. So all right, now we'll
All
stop
right.
sharing the screen here. We'll
Anybody who's is there something we're missing? Anybody leave us a comment and tell us why Three
right.
Musketeers don't deserve to be at the very bottom of everyone's list. I've
Right. And
never heard anyone say anything really positive about Three Musketeers, so let's fill up that comment section with some reasons why it's in existence.
yes, and hit the like and subscribe button. So uh
That's right.
and comment why Reese's should be at the top. So just kidding. So all
Or
right.
Almond Joy. I'd also like to hear some feedback from anybody else who feels like they're uh, discriminated against because they also love almond joys.
Right.
So we got to stick together.
At least
We got to grow this channel, and almond joys are going to be the foundation with which the rest of the channel grows on. So this is our opportunity.
right. At least we agreed on the Twix for the superiors too. So,
Right.
all right, let's see. All right, now we'll kind of get into some kind of finish up with some college what is it like college pick 'em. All right, what do you
Yep.
got for the games this week? Now that we're
All
kind of
right.
getting
So
we're really into conference play now.
yeah, I think we know a little bit more about the teams we're playing and a little bit better idea of what to expect. Right out of the gate, our golden game of the week is number 6. Oklahoma is on the road at Kansas. This is a game that is on Fox's big noon show. They're going to Lawrence, which is pretty comical considering, as far as I know of, KU has the worst stadium in college football. Uh, the worst is probably a strong way to put it, but they're definitely in contention for the worst if they're not the worst.
And
So
they're
it's kind of
trying
amusing to me that they're not able to sell out their stadium and they're hosting Big Noon. So
yep.
that'll be funny. So pick the score, pick the winner, Scott. What do you got? Number 6, Oklahoma at KU.
I really don't want to pick either team here. Gonna go with the tie. No, just kidding. Uh it can happen.
Well, with the current rules of the game, someone will win.
Yeah.
So who's that
Uh
going to be?
I'm gonna go with Oklahoma in this one. That granted they struggled a little bit last week, almost lost, but I just think they still got too much firepower for KU and uh I think KU will give them a little bit of run for their money, especially in the beginning of the game, but I think in the end Oklahoma will pull away and we're gonna go like 35-21 Oklahoma.
Okay. I've also got Oklahoma winning. I think Jason Bean as the backup for KU is he's not the worst quarterback ever. Um, and if Jalen Daniels plays, it'll be the first time he play in about a month. So I would expect if he plays for there to be some rust. So I'd say no matter what, the quarterback position for KU is not the best that they're capable of going into the game. They're a good team at running the ball, but I think Oklahoma wins the game. I've got a little bit tighter to me. I think it's more like 27-24 because I still am not a big believer in Oklahoma. And I think it'll be a tight game.
Yeah, I mean
And
KU's
with the weather like it is, I don't think it'll be a real high scoring game. But
right. And KU's better than
okay.
they have been, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, their defense is better than it was last year. It's still not great. Um, I I could see Oklahoma just busting the game open and winning the game going away. But I don't think that'll be the case. I think it'll be closer than that. Like I said, I'm not a real big believer in Oklahoma at the moment. I don't think that they've been
Yep.
tested very much. They had a game against Texas, which was a good game, and Texas is a really talented team, but I don't have a lot of faith in Texas being a real gritty team. I think they're a flash in the pan. So,
They almost lost too.
all right. Yeah, I know. And they almost lost to one of the teams in the next pick 'em here.
Right.
Houston on the road at our alma mater, K State.
Um,
11 a.m. kickoff.
yep. Um, I think Houston's gotten better the last few weeks, and obviously they gave K State, or I mean, Texas a run for their money last week, and like Dana Holgerson said, right now, if K State plays like they did last week against TCU, they were very well coached, played very well, very sound. He said, they were one of the best coached teams in football last week.
Yeah.
They weren't really during their two losses, but maybe that passed us. But I'm gonna have to go with K State on this one. It's at home. Houston's, I think, is getting better, but still not quite as talented as the top of the pack of the Big 12. So, and hopefully K State's hitting their stride here where it counts, and we'll pull this one out.
I agree. I think right now K State's had a couple instances where they stumbled. They probably feel like the loss to Missouri and the loss to Oklahoma State are games that they just gave away.
Right.
Um, and
Both close
their
losses too.
offensive line has just been playing. Yeah, their offensive line has just been playing so much better, which is
Mhm.
making the rest of the offense look better. The whole quarterback dynamic that's going on right now. We'll see how that plays out. But the defense is just looking really good right now. So I got K State. I think Houston's a really talented team, but I think there you just don't know what you're going to get from week to week or maybe even like series to series with Houston right now. So I think on the road, cold environment, I got K State.
Yep.
The next game is number one Georgia against Florida. Um, I think Georgia is imperfect, but I don't think that they're going to look that way against Florida. I think Georgia will win by a couple touchdowns. And it'll probably be one of those games where people will talk about it and they'll say it wasn't that close.
No, I think I agree with you there. I think Georgia's a really good team. I don't know if they're as good as they have been the last few years, but I think Florida's good, but they're not up there either. And they lost a couple that they should have won. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Georgia on this one. It's a game I'd like to go to some year too. I think that'd be a cool atmosphere to see, cool rivalry game to see.
Yeah. Do they put that at a neutral stadium or they go
Yeah,
back and
it's
forth?
usually I don't know where it is this year, but it's usually in Jacksonville, I think.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, but
Yeah, where I interned at.
um, yeah. Next up, number 8 Oregon against number 13 Utah.
Hmm.
Um, this is I would say probably the premier game of the weekend. It's got two top 15 teams playing. Um, I think Utah is about as tough and as solid of a team right now, really, as you can get. Home game, I think Utah looks really good. I know Oregon can score a lot of points, but I think Oregon also at times falls asleep and kind of rests on their laurels. And I don't think Utah has that in their DNA. So I've got the Utes being victorious.
Yeah, this is kind of one that could go either way. Obviously Oregon played Washington a couple weeks ago, and that was a close game. Could have almost won it, but I think they're a good team, a really good team. But they always kind of have that game where they, blow a game or two where they blow it too. But um, I think I'm going to go with Utah in this one. They're playing well right now. I think they got a really good coach. But Also could be one that could go the other way, but I think I'm gonna stick with Utah.
Okay. Uh, the next one up is the only other game that has two ranked opponents. Duke is on the road at Louisville. Louisville.
Yep.
That's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
Louisville. I've
uh
got Louisville.
yeah,
I think, sorry, I think Duke is having realistically the best football season that I can remember in my lifetime. And they had a pretty good win last week. And I think on the road
actually
at
they
Louisville is
lost
when
they lost last week to Florida State.
did they?
Yeah.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I was thinking of what was the game
Uh
that they played?
yeah, the week
It doesn't
before.
matter because I'm still
Yeah.
taking Louisville.
um no, I think this is another game that could go either way, and I think I'm gonna go the opposite of you on this one. I really like Duke. Obviously, they're right down the road from
Do you?
me, about 30, 45 minutes. I know one of their coaches, really like them. One of their offensive coaches, Coach Skrosky. I picked Duke, what against Clemson, and they didn't pull that one out. But I'm gonna say Duke's gonna pull this one out. I think their coach is doing a really good job, especially to coach a team that has high academic standards, and it's not always easy to get the best recruits at a school like that. Um, as far as football goes, but you know, I think he's doing a great job there, and I think Duke will pull this one out.
Okay. I guess that might be the difference.
Probably.
That's this is why I'm up on you by 2 games.
Hmm.
Next up, we got Tulane, ranked number 22, the Green Wave, rolling to Houston to play Rice. I've got Tulane. I'm a big believer in their coach. Um, as we've talked about before, local Kansas City, Kansas guy. Um, I think Tulane is a tough team. I think they're going to go beat Rice, who has looked better this year than in other years.
Yep, I think I'm gonna go with you too on this one. I like Tulane too, like Willie Fritz and what he's doing. Just a tough team. Did well last year, having another pretty decent season. So I think I'm gonna go with them too.
Okay. Next up, number 21, Tennessee on the road at Kentucky. I like Tennessee. I don't have a lot of confidence in this pick just because Tennessee isn't real consistent. Um, Kentucky has looked pretty good at times this year, and they're not looking super consistent really either. But for whatever reason, I just feel like Tennessee on the road is going to happen. So,
Yep.
what do you got?
I think I'll go with you on that one too. I think it's another game that could go either way, but it seems like Tennessee's probably overall the better team if they play the way they're capable of playing. So I'm gonna go with Tennessee
Right.
also.
Okay. We got prime time going to LA. Colorado is at number 23 UCLA. Colorado started off looking pretty exciting, and then reality set in. Did that 29-0 lead they blew to Stanford, and they lost in double overtime. But I'm gonna take Colorado in this game. I don't know why, but I just feel like in LA, prime time is gonna be magical. So
Yeah. What's interesting about that Stanford game, the kicker that kicked that winning field goal was actually went to high school, right? About 15 minutes from here in North Carolina.
oh really? Wow.
Yeah. Um, I think I'm gonna go opposite of you on this one. Not because I don't like, not because I'm not a big fan of Colorado, not because of Dion or anything, just other past experiences. But I'm just gonna go with UCLA. It's out at UCLA. Um, Overall, they're probably the better team, but this is another one that could go either way. Plus, I got my UCLA shirt on. So from one of my former interns and my buddy Kenny, that's a equipment manager out there for basketball. And so I gotta stick with the equipment manager blood. So I'm gonna go with UCLA on this
Okay.
one.
Hey, that works for me. Maybe I should change my pick.
Hey, you can, but
All
this
right.
is where if I get Duke and UCLA, I catch up to you if the
That's
others are
right.
ahead.
That's right. Or I pull even further ahead.
Right.
In the last game for the week that we're picking, I've got number 11 Oregon State on the road at Arizona. I think Oregon State is going to murder Arizona.
I think I'll
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I think Oregon State's gonna pull this one out too. I don't know much about Arizona right now. I know I think they're better than they have been and have maybe pulled out some games. I really don't know much about them this year, but I think they've got a overall a better team. But I just think Oregon State's playing well right now and it's got a pretty good team this year. So I would be shocked if they
Yeah.
lose this one. That's it.
Okay. Just so you know, or Arizona's 4-3.
Yep.
Um, they did beat Washington State last week. They actually manhandled them
Yeah.
44-6.
Yep.
But
Yeah, that was a game I was thinking about.
yeah,
They're better than
I
they have been recently. So
well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, they've just been underwhelming.
yep,
Arizona State has looked really, really bad. Arizona has looked better than that, but not a whole lot. So,
right.
and I'm not an expert on the Pac-12, but Arizona and Arizona State are just two teams that aren't looking good right now. And I guess I'm
Yeah,
just thinking about that for next year when
they go to the Big
them
12.
and Utah and Colorado come into the Big 12 and kind of what the Big 12 or the Big
And
16 or whatever it's called next year. I don't know uh, what the conference will look like.
we've got some good road trips to
Cool.
plan for.
I know. I'm bummed I missed out on that Tech game. I don't know
Yeah.
what I was thinking. I was
Yep.
there in Lubbock Friday. Stay for 24 more hours. I could have caught the Cats, but
Yep.
oh well.
Oh, well, cool. Well, that's pretty much it for this week. That's all I've got. So, what about you? Got anything else? Are you good?
No, I'm good. It's been good to get back and
Yes.
record an episode again. I think it's for both of us. October has just been a
Crazy.
real kick in the tail, kind of a month, but it's good to be back and
Yep.
continue to figure out if we're friends or not. I think the answer is yes, but we'll see.
Yep. Yep.
We'll
Well,
see.
everybody, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, but we appreciate it. Appreciate all of you, and thanks for watching.
Yep. Thanks.